Welcome along to this Swiss ball practice with Zuri. Swiss ball practice has been used for a long time as rehabilitation, and this is in particular for people who have been maybe injured or have had severe problems with back or hips. And the lovely thing about the Swiss ball is it automatically works the core just because the body is trying to find some stability. So obviously there's no stability. It's unusual because this is actually called a stability ball, but there's no stability in this. It can move around many different ways. The stability that we're looking for when we're working with the Swiss ball is found within. And so one of the other advantages of working with the Swiss ball is it helps with that connection to your body. So if you've been injured and you've been doing a lot of sitting or a lot of resting in bed, one of the things that we notice is that when we start to get out and about and start moving, we've lost that connection to not just the center through the core, but that connection and an awareness to different parts of our body, and the Swiss ball can help with that. And I'm going to run through a very basic kind of drill that we would do in a Swiss ball practice. A lot of it is focusing on core work, and we'll incorporate some arms and legs as well with it. So from a seated position, just gently roll your body down. I'm going to take the Swiss ball in my hands. Spread the fingers, have each of the fingers, including your thumb, connected to the Swiss ball, and very gently and very slowly C-curve the spine as you roll back towards the mat. Once you get down here and the Swiss ball still in your hands, what this helps to do is to activate the inner arms. So give the Swiss ball just a little squeeze and move the Swiss ball slightly behind you, keeping it off the floor as you inhale, exhale, come back to center. Breathing in and out. Inhale, exhale. Two more. Breathing in and out. One more. Give it a little squeeze. Reach it up and over. Exhale, return. Keep the arms straight. Reach the Swiss ball in front of you. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, exhale as you curl the head, neck and shoulders off the mat, lifting to the tips of the shoulder blades. Inhale, lower. Exhale, curl the head, neck and shoulders off the mat as you lift to the tips of the shoulder blades. So I'm activating the arms by giving the Swiss ball a little squeeze between the palms to activate the inner arms. Inhale, lower. Curling up, head, neck and shoulders curling off the mat. One more, breathing in. And exhale, curl the head, neck and shoulders off the mat. Once you get here, just hold, little pause, lower the head, neck and shoulders down and lift the legs into tabletop position. Leave your head on the mat. Tap one leg away, two toe taps. 1, 2, lift and hold, change. Tap, tap, lift and hold. Tap, tap. Can already feel my arm muscles working quite a bit, quite intently. Just holding the Swiss ball between the hands, keeping the arms straight. At first it doesn't feel like there's much weight in the Swiss ball, but once you've held the Swiss ball for a period of time, you can start to feel your arms tiring. Let's keep going with the legs. Toe tap right, last one here with the left. Pause, lower the feet down, and bring the Swiss ball back towards your belly, towards your chest. So I can already feel my upper body, the arms, the chest and the shoulders doing quite a bit of work holding onto the Swiss ball. So take a breath in, inhale. Put some of those movements together. Curl the head, neck and shoulders off the mat as you lift to the tips of the shoulder blades. Bring your legs up into that tabletop position. Just have the Swiss ball hovering so you're holding it just above the shins or the knees. Marching pattern. Keeping it moving. Drawing one leg in and reaching one leg down. The knees still bent to 90. Keep deepening the curl over the breastbone. 5 more to go. 4, 3, 2. Last one here. Hold those legs in tabletop position, lower the head, lower the feet, and bring the Swiss ball back towards your belly. Let's transition. Let's take the Swiss ball from the hands, between the legs, and take it between the calf muscles, between your ankles. Lower your arms down, slowly lower the Swiss ball. Keep the knees bent to 90, so super slow, lower the ball down, and place the feet on top. So now the legs are being held and supported in this tabletop position. It's quite important that we keep the Swiss ball away from the back of the thighs. We're using the foot, the ankle joint to keep the Swiss ball stable and still. So we'll just activate the core a little bit more. Breathing in Exhale, curl the head, neck and shoulders off the mat, hover the arms beside the body and start to beat the arms quite vigorously. Breathing in and out. Breathing in for 5 and out for 5. Breathing in and take a long breath out. Inhaling and exhaling. Now you could keep the legs in this tabletop position. I'm going to walk the Swiss ball a little further away so both legs are straight. And I'm over halfway. Breathing in and out. Last 30. And last 20. And final 10 here. Breathing in. Take a long flowing breath out. Pause. Lower the head. And you'll see that I've still got my legs straight, the foot in flexion, and the ankles supported on the Swiss ball. Arms on the ground beside me. Hover the right leg off the Swiss ball. Point the toes. Lift that leg straight up. Flex, lower it down. Keep it just off the Swiss ball. Lift. It's only one leg in connection with the ball. Last one here. Point, lift up. Hold at the top. Draw a circle around in one direction. And circle around. So what I'm trying to do is I'm moving this top leg, trying to keep that bottom leg relatively stable and still. Last one around the other way. Sweep it around. When you get back to the top, flex the foot lower. So changing the leg lead, hover the other leg, point the toes, come straight up, toes pointed, flex to lower. Breathing in, breathing out. Point lift, flex, move it away. Hold at the top this time, keeping the toes pointed. Circle around, drawing a circle with your big toe on the ceiling, take it the other way, retrace your steps, internal rotation, hold to external rotation. We get back to the top, flex the foot, lower it down. Walk, keep the foot in flexion, walk it back to tabletop position, walk it away. Keep that going, walk it in and walk it away. We'll do 2 more, walk it in, and walk it away. 1 more, walk it in, and then walk it away. So from this position here, curl the head, neck and shoulders, lift to the tips of the shoulder blades. So keeping the legs straight this time. Inhale, lower. Exhale, curl head, neck and shoulders off the mat. Breathing in, breathing out. 1 more, inhale, lower. Curl the head, neck and shoulders off the mat. Drag that Swiss ball back in. Take the legs on the outside and do a little hover here. So legs in tabletop position, curling the head, neck and shoulders off the mat. Reach for the Swiss ball. Lower the feet down. And then finally lower the head and bring the Swiss ball back towards your belly. So I've come back to the set position I started the practice in. I'm going to do a couple of what I know as the ab series. We do this a lot in the Pilates practice. We're going to do it with the Swiss ball. Take a breath in. Curl the head, neck and shoulders off the mat, bringing your right leg in and stretching your left leg out long. Keep the Swiss ball still. Again, give it a little squeeze between your hands and just focus on the movements of the legs. Drawing one leg in and stretching one leg away. Keeping it flowing, reaching, lengthening, stretching. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Bend both knees, lower the head, lower the feet, and bring the Swiss ball back to rest on your belly. Let's take that a stage further. We're going to use the arms and both legs together as one. Take a breath in, curl the head, neck and shoulders off the mat, bring the legs to tabletop position. Imagine you're trying to reach the Swiss ball over the shins. Keep up in the curl, reach both the arms and the legs away, exhale, return to center. So moving the arms and moving the legs, again give the hands a little squeeze onto the Swiss ball to activate the inner arms and draw back to center. Reach, keep up in the curl, exhale as you come out of it. 2 more, go out to extension, return everything back to where you started. Last one, breath in, long breath out, hold, little pause, lower the head, lower the feet, and again rest that Swiss ball onto your belly. Scissors, trying a point of difference again, curl the head, neck and shoulders off the mat, reach the Swiss ball up, straighten the legs, and have the front of the feet pressing into the back of the Swiss ball and have your hands on the other side. Both legs are straight. I'm trying to look down towards the top of your thighs here. That's the point of focus. Can you move your right arm with your left leg away? Opposite arm, opposite leg, come back to center. Try that on the other side. Opposite arm, opposite leg reaches away. We really have to think about this. Opposites. One arm with the opposite leg, return to center. One arm with the opposite leg, return to center. This is helping you with that focus, that awareness, that connection through the body. Take your time, move slowly. Opposite arm, opposite leg. One more round. Reach opposites. Last one here. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Come to center. Bend the knees. Whew. And last, pretty strong one. So transitioning the ball here. Take the Swiss ball from the hands to between the calf muscles, the inside edges of your feet, and between the ankles. Curl the head, neck and shoulders off the mat and place the hands on the back of the skull. Reach both the legs away, stretch. Give the inner thighs a little squeeze and lift the legs up in a straight line. Going to lengthen and stretch both legs away. Exhale, return to center. So press out, reach that ball away. Come back to where you started. Two more. Double. Straight leg stretch, come back to center, last one here, reach it away, see if you can hold it out there, and then bend the knees, lower the ball to the floor and place your legs on top, lower the head, and come back to sit position. One more to practice. Walk the legs away till both your legs are straight, take a gentle breath in. Curl the head, neck and shoulders off the mat. Again, place the hands on the back of the head. As you draw the right leg in, rotate, come across to meet it. Take that leg back to the Swiss ball. Change and do the same on the other side. Bringing knee to chest. One foot on the ball. Lift and twist. Rotation. Coming up and over across. Opposite shoulder towards opposite knee. 5, 4, 3. Keep it flowing. Last one, right to left. And as we come through to center, lower the head, lower the arms, and walk or drag that Swiss ball back towards you. Take the legs around the Swiss ball, grip the Swiss ball between your ankles, between your feet, head, neck and shoulders, hands to the back of your thighs, roll up to a seated position. Scoop your hips back, holding the Swiss ball again into the hands, the feet just slightly wider than your hips. Let's again connect each of the fingers, including the thumb, onto the Swiss ball. Give it a little squeeze. Take a breath in. And exhale, stretch that spine forwards. Reach it away. Inhale, sit tall, shoulders back, chest open, the Swiss ball in line with your heart. As you go forwards, let the head come down between that natural frame of the arms as you stretch the spine forwards. Breath in, sit tall, roll shoulders back. Two more. Exhale, stretch that spine in a forwards direction. One more. Breathing in. And take a long breath out. And as you come up, just walk your feet towards you, or scoop your hips and walk your hips towards your heels. The feet are flat, the knees in a bent position. Have the hands maybe just slightly under the Swiss ball. Again, the arms are straight. Give the Swiss ball a little squeeze and curl down just about halfway. And then scoop the belly in and come up to a beautiful seated position. C-curve the spine, C-curve and lower. Keep squeezing that belly and then come up, sit tall, open up the front of the body. It's a gentle C-curve of the spine. We're lowering down, just what we know as a half roll down, not going all the way down. Just controlling that movement as you lower and lift. Last one. Draw the belly back towards the spine. Eye gaze down towards the top of your thighs and then scooping the belly in as you sit up nice and tall. Try a balance one with me here. Sit up nice and tall, chest is lifted. Tuck your tailbone under, lift your right leg and then your left leg. See if we can balance the Swiss ball on the top of the shins. Have the hands on the outside as though you're reaching for the Swiss ball, but you're not holding on to it. The Swiss ball is being held and balanced on the top of the shins. Reach for the Swiss ball, place the feet down and sit up nice and tall. So we tuck the tailbone under as though we're going to do a half roll down, but don't go as far back, just to hold. Lift one leg at a time and then reach the Swiss ball and allow it to balance on your shins. Keep this chest nicely open, the arms are active, like I'm reaching for the Swiss ball. Breath in, and then hold the Swiss ball, breathing out. One more. Inhale, lengthen through side body, draw belly button back towards the spine. Go back just a little, lift the legs and balance that Swiss ball on the shin. So I've got a little bit of space between the feet, between the knees. I'm balancing the Swiss ball, holding, keeping that stillness. Woohoo, it's just moving around a little. You can feel those instabilities through the core. Reach for the Swiss ball, lower the legs down, sit tall. Take the feet slightly wide of the mat, place the Swiss ball on the floor. Stretch that spine forwards, let the head just hang down. Really focus on that scooping in of the abdominal wall. Breath in, sit up nice and tall, and just let the Swiss ball roll and extend and reach forwards as your head goes down between your arms. One more, breath in. Chest is open, chest is lifted. Exhale, stretch that spine forwards, go all the way. Nice opening of the back of the body, and then come up nice and tall. Keep your feet just off the mat, just slightly wider than your hips. Reach the Swiss ball up off the ground, give the Swiss ball a little squeeze. Raise the arms up, rotate towards one side, and as you lean over, going to reach the Swiss ball towards your foot. Come up through the center. So I'm going to turn here, I'm turning to my left, turn to the left, but I'm reaching to the right foot. So here I'm turning to the right, but reaching to my left. It's almost like same arm reaches to same leg. So you turn first, reach, lengthen up and over on that diagonal, coming up and across, working into side body. Keep it flat. Lift and twist, reach. Come up through the center, keeping the legs still, keeping the weight down through the sit bones. Rotation, up and over. Last one here. Twist, reach up and over. And as we come through the center, lower the Swiss ball down. Transition. From here, come over onto your hands and your knees. So from a kneeling position, let's bring the Swiss ball, and it's quite important here with this one to have your feet onto a mat or something that you can really connect your feet into. So tucking the toes under, pulling the Swiss ball in towards my hips. It makes contact with the top of my thighs towards the front of my hips. Slowly roll over the ball, and it's your pelvis that you want to keep connecting to the ball. So I've tucked my toes under, and I'm pressing the weight back into the heels. So that area across the pelvis is what is connected to the ball. The arms in front, and there's space between my arms and the Swiss ball. So really, the only part of my body connected to the Swiss ball is the front of the pelvis, top of the thighs, the lower abdominal wall. Here, I'm in a straight line, head is above the heart, chest and shoulders above the hips, and then the heels nice and low. So creating that long straight line through the body. What if you were to lower the upper body, where you curl over the ball, and take a breath in, inhale, come up to the tips of the fingers, exhale, lower down. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, come up to extension of the front of the body, exhale, lower down. Breathing in, and breathing out. One more, keep the legs still, push back into the heels. Inhale, open up the chest, rolling the shoulders back, exhale. Do what I call here the rag doll. Bend your knees, wrap the arms forward, soften the elbows. As though you're like a rag doll and you've just gone all floppy. You're just going to allow the body to just soften over the Swiss ball. So you see my knees are bent, feet are relaxed, arms are relaxed. I've always got my knuckles resting on the ground and the head just gently hanging forwards. I want half my body weight forwards, half of it back. And here is where I get that beautiful stretch and opening. And feel that into the middle, lower back, and it feels good. So then come back to that set position that we started in. So we have the toes tucked under, coming up to the tips of the fingers, making sure your arm is just away from the front of the Swiss ball. Take the right arm and reach it out in front of you. As you sweep that arm behind you, look over your right shoulder and bring your arm to rest into your lower back. Bring the arm around in front, and lower the arm down. Try it on the left side. Reach that arm out in front. Look over your shoulder, circle the arm, sweep it behind you, and let your arm rest roughly the middle of your back. Bring the arm, sweep it around in front, and lower down. The right arm, reach it out. I'm still working into the legs. Bring that arm around, look over your right shoulder. Bring it around in front, and lower down. Left arm. Thumb towards the ceiling, sweep the arm behind, just come and rest it. So I'm just rotating gently through the rib cage. Still trying to keep the pelvis relatively stable and still. One more right to left. Come up, shoulder moves, rotation, look behind. Come through the middle. Last one here to the other side. Thumb towards the ceiling, sweep that arm behind, let it rest. Forearm into roughly the middle lower part of your back. Look over your left shoulder, bring that arm around and lower down. Again, just come back into that ragdoll. So nice release. Head hangs forward, arms behind, feet almost like a little bit flippy floppy, knees are bent. And try something slightly different. Tuck the toes under, push the weight back into the heels. Can you lower the head and take the hands onto the back of the skull? Come up to extension of the front of the body and slowly lower down. So hands on the back of the skull. So you're really expanding and opening up through the chest and then slowly lowering down. Coming up to extension, having to really focus on the stillness and the stability of the lower half of my body here. 2 more. Inhale, come up. Exhale. Last one here, breath in. And as you breathe out, hang forwards. Place the hands to the floor. Go back to your knees into child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart. Reach the Swiss ball away and let your head just hang between your arms. So another way of stretching the back. This one with the arms reaching out in front, just getting into the back of the shoulders. Head just softening down. So let's come back again to that kneeling position. I'm going to bring myself slightly back. And this time I want to again pull the Swiss ball towards my hip, come over, and this time just lower to your forearms so that your feet are off the ground. So the pelvis is now pressed more into the top of the ball. Chest is puffed open, point the toes, and lift both legs and lower both legs. Lift both legs, lower both legs. Keep the toes pointed, coming up and slowly lowering those legs down. Try and keep the chest open. There's a tendency to kind of collapse between shoulder blades or collapse into the chest. Extend the legs up and lower the legs down. Let's go for 2 more. Active, both legs long and straight. Release it down. We want to lift and lower with control. Come up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then press up. So you almost come up into a plank position. I've still got the pelvis into the Swiss ball. Wrist under the shoulders, puff the chest open, and just pulse those legs up and down like you would for a swimmer. Kick, 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 kick. Point the toes, scissoring the legs. 5, keep going. 4, 3, 2, last one, and hold. So walk your hands back, come to a kneeling position. And this time, instead of the child's pose, straight line from hip to knee, shoulder to hip, and just walk the Swiss ball away. Hands on top, wrists supported, and allow the head to come through in this position. It's slightly different to child's pose, not sitting back on the heels and getting deeper into the back of the shoulders. And then bring the Swiss ball back towards you. So let's try one more. Swiss ball into your hips, slowly roll over, and again come back to the position we started. Tuck the toes under, pressing back into the heels. Come up to the tips of the fingers, arms just away from the front of the Swiss ball. Can you lift your right arm with your left leg? And change. Opposite arm to opposite leg and slowly lower. So it's one arm and the opposite leg. Slowly lower. Reach away, thumb towards the ceiling, pressing out through the centre of the heel. Opposite arm, opposite leg. We'll do just one more here, opposites, reach, opposite arm, opposite leg, and then slowly release. Coming into child's pose. Rest the body. So coming to a seated position, have the feet slightly wider than your hips. Both arms and both legs are straight, the Swiss ball in hand. Sit up nice and tall, puff the chest open, take a gentle breath in. And exhale as you gently C-curve the spine to lower. Keep the Swiss ball in your hands, take a breath in to prepare. And exhale, curl off the mat. So we're rolling up and rolling down, keeping the Swiss ball in the hands. Sit up nice and tall, breathing in. Exhale, slowly lower. So gently curling down. Inhale when you get to the bottom. Exhale, curl off the mat. So keep the head low, head down between the arms, breathing in as you stretch that spine forward, and then gently curling up, hinging back and C-curving the spine as we lower. Two more, breath in. Head, neck and shoulders curl first, head down between the arms, keep low, head down, opens the back of the body, give the Swiss ball a little squeeze. Sit up nice and tall, hinge back, scoop belly in, exhale as you lower down. Last one, breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, stretch that spine forwards. And exhale, super slow. Slowly does it, lowering down. And once you get down to the mat here, walk the feet back towards your body and come into a neutral spine position. Rest the Swiss ball on your belly and then gently transition. And then gently transition that Swiss ball from your hands to your feet. Keeping the knees bent, slowly lower that Swiss ball down. Feet are on top, tabletop position to begin. Straightening the legs out till both legs are straight, feet in flexion. Really strengthen and engage the inner thighs, palms pressed down, and start to lift your hips and your pelvis away from the ground. Now, keeping the feet nice and square, there's a tendency for the feet to draw outwards, but keep almost the big toes drawing together, and then slowly lower. So there's a little bit of space between my feet. Try and keep those feet quite active as I'm lifting. So here in a supported position on the ground, remember as you go up, your legs, your feet will want to move around on that Swiss ball. So we're creating the stability through the whole body. So I'm going up, 2, 3. I can feel those movements. I feel my kind of legs moving, my feet wanting to move, and I'm trying to really create that long straight line all the way through the midline of the body. Let's go for 2 more. So scooping in as your hips go up, scooping in, press the palms down, keep the legs active, strong through the foot joint, taking a breath in, keep that rib cage closed at the front, and slowly, gently articulate, lower spine, and that's my pelvis just coming out. The last one here, tuck your tailbone, drawing in through the front, through the side, strong legs. I can feel every muscle in my body working here. Hold it there, take a breath in, and slowly release. Come out of it just as slowly as you went into it. And then drag that Swiss ball. I really feel that in the back of the thighs as well. So come back to that classic tabletop position. Take a breath in. And curl the head, neck and shoulders off the mat. Little pause. Transition. Reach the feet around the side. Hold it up here. And then reach the hands as you lower the feet. Lower the Swiss ball. And finally, lower the head. So let's practice some teasers using the Swiss ball. Have the legs in a classic position, knees bent, feet flat. Extend the right leg only. Reach the Swiss ball up in front of you. Breathe in. Exhale, curl off. And see if you can press that straight leg the toes almost into the back of the Swiss ball, and then C-curve the spine as you lower. Change the leg lead. The other leg is straight and extended. Move the Swiss ball away. Breath in. Exhale, curl up. Breathing in. And exhale, slowly lower. We'll do one more to each side. Right leg extends, straightens. Breath in. Exhale, curl up. Breathing in at the top. Exhale, slowly lower. Last one here on the other side. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. And slowly exhale as you lower. So bring the knees underneath the Swiss ball. Curl the head, neck and shoulders. Roll up to a seated position. So let's try more of a balanced one from a seated position this time. Have again the feet in a very similar position to you had before. Feet flat, knees bent. Swiss ball in hand. Give the Swiss ball a little squeeze. Take a breath in. And as you hinge back, come back about halfway. The Swiss ball may be in front of the knees. And then just slightly lift the legs, so both legs in tabletop position. So I'm not going to rest the Swiss ball on the shins, but just have it hovering above the shins. Take one more breath in. Lower the feet down and then sit up nice and tall. Come back to extension of your spine. Breathing in. Hinge back, tuck tailbone under. Keep the arms active. Lift the legs. Now if you wanted to, you could keep the legs here in tabletop position. But I'm going to not only extend the legs but reach the Swiss ball up. Working through side body, both arms, both legs straight. Come back to where you started before. Lower the feet and come back into balance. One more breath in. Exhale, tuck tailbone under. Lift both legs. And then on your inhale, reach the legs away. Puff the chest open. Reach the arms up, shoulders away from the ears. Give the Swiss ball a little squeeze. Bring it all the way back. Lower. Take the Swiss ball onto the floor. Take the legs just slightly wider. Inhale. Exhale, stretch that spine forwards. Two more, breathing in. Exhale, press it away. Stretch the spine forwards. Last one, breathing in. And just roll the Swiss ball. Let the head go down between the arms. As you come to center, turn to face square, front towards the front edge of your mat here. I've taken the Swiss ball towards the right side. I have my right arm on top and right leg in front. Reach the opposite arm away. Take a breath in and exhale, come up and over. Come back to center. We keep going that same side. Breathing in. Exhale, reaching top arm towards that bottom arm. And then it comes back to where we started. One more breath in. Exhale, reach up and over. Almost reaching the hands almost to touch. As you come through the center, hold. Roll the Swiss ball around to the other side and change that leg lead. Now I have the left leg in front with the right leg behind, and I have my left arm reaching on top of the Swiss ball. Breathing in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale out of it. Breathing in. Exhale to come up and over. Breathing in. Breathing out. Let's go for two more. Breath in. Exhale, come up and over. Reach both hands almost to touch. And then we come out of it. Last one here. Breathing in. Exhale, coming up and over. And then as you come out of it, little pause. Come around onto hands and knees. All fours position. And using the Swiss ball for a variation of a little hover or plank position. So I want to have the hands on top. You could make a fist and cup one hand around the other, or hands into prayer position. So I'm going to press the weight down through my forearms, tuck your tailbone under, hips forward, step the legs back one at a time, and try to get your heart, your chest over the front of the ball. So the only thing in contact with the Swiss ball is your forearms. Everything else is lifting away. Take one more breath in and lower. And again, sit back into that beautiful stretch. Now what if I put a little movement here together, where I come to a standing position and come at one end of the mat. So if I come at the back end of the mat, the feet are back, shoulder hip width apart, and I do what I call a little low squat. So I'm coming into a squat position, and I have my hands right in front of the Swiss ball. Roll out into a classic forearm plank. Keep the legs active. Bend the knees, come low, and get into a squat. Push out. So I'm moving with the ball. So I've always got connection and touching that ball. Roll it out, legs straight. And then come back to a little squat. One more, push out. Hold in a classic plank in 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, to your knees. And sit back to child's pose. Let your head hang down between your arms. Give the Swiss ball just a little squeeze between each of the fingers and your thumb. And that is a Swiss ball practice. There's a couple of different variations we can do with the Swiss ball, and I will endeavour to come on and show you a couple more variations. I love working with the Swiss ball. It's so versatile, and the results are normally quite effective and quite strong and powerful. So it can be a tool that those who do a lot of Pilates can use to help with their posture and their technique, but it's also a tool that can be used for beginners to help them really to connect into their body. Hope you enjoyed that.